Hey guys. So I just wrapped up a session and I got this question. I thought it was a really good one. It was about what is the difference between giving someone the cold shoulder and being toxic in that way, and just not, just recognizing that they're not bringing anything positive to your life and not having contact with them. Like, how do I know that I'm being in alignment with love and not out of spite? And here's my answer to that. Giving someone the cold shoulder is a manipulation tactic. So if it is like your attempt to control someone's behavior or presentation or narrative, and you are using your absence to kind of corral them into a way that's more appeasing to you, that's toxic behavior. If you are just engaging with someone and you're noticing that you come away feeling distressed or upset or like drained, like it's not bringing anything positive to you, and it's more of a exertion of your energy to maintain contact, and you're saying, I need to step back because of me, that's different. That's not being toxic. That's just honoring where you are. And I think people who've had experiences with narcissistic people in their lives, like if you've grown up in an environment that had narcissistic role models or caregivers, you tend to believe that maybe you are being toxic by sticking to your truth and by honoring your own feelings. And maybe pulling back when you're feeling, taken for granted or whatever. Because the expectation in growing up with that kind of pressure from someone struggling with narcissism is that anytime that you choose yourself over the expectation of their wishes, you're somehow bad and wrong. And that's really common. That's a really common experience for people growing up with, narcissistic others or expectations from narcissists. And I know that word gets thrown around all the time, like narcissist. Oh, he's a narcissist. But I mean, honestly, like it exists for a reason. And I'm not saying that you should go around, judging and diagnosing other people, obviously, but also like it's problematic behavior. I like how oh gosh, I'm gonna forget her name, and I really hate using people's work and not giving them credit because I know how that is. I'm gonna find it. But she couches it in terms of emotionally immature people. So if you've grown up with emotionally immature people, they have such a deficit of internal stability that they are very invested in their external environment looking and behaving a certain way. And they do that because it makes them feel safe. So if they can put people in boxes and if they can kind of control their environment to make it more pleasing and more acceptable to them, it makes them feel comfortable. So they're relying on their external environment to have the stability that they don't have internally. So that's kind of where that feeling comes from of like, oh, if I stick up for myself, if I do what I feel is right, even if it's in conflict with what they feel is right, I must be bad and wrong and I shouldn't do that. That is very common. It's a very common experience in growing up with that kind of messaging that just kind of gets, you get inundated with that in that type of family dynamic. And so as an adult, you can kind of you can kind of shy away from doing what you want for your life and showing up in the way that feels right for you and speaking your truth. And what I want to say is this: if you are struggling with that, if you are kind of having that emotional turmoil of, should I, exert my own will and my own voice in my life to make it exactly what I want, even if it's in conflict with what other people might want for me. Am I doing something bad? Am I disappointing them? Should I get in line? I just want to, give you permission. Like, you are not being toxic. You are not, by stepping out and saying, this is what I want for me. This is how I'm going to show up, or how I'm going to pull back my energy from other people, which is how I started talking about this. You're not being toxic. You're just honoring yourself. And I know that, it's kind of a switch in perspective to make that jump. But I guess the point of this was, the difference between giving someone a cold shoulder or doing things specifically in order to manipulate them, in order for you to feel comfortable, is totally different from doing something to take care of yourself. The cold shoulder, when you give somebody the cold shoulder, it is in order to make them appear a certain way or make them do something that's pleasing for you, that makes you feel better. And the other, in terms of taking space, is to protect yourself. So one is to control others, the other is to protect yourself. And the power of intention behind your actions cannot be understated. It matters a lot what your intentions are. So anyway, that is my whole message. Yeah, that's it. So I hope everybody's doing really well. Sending you all a lot of love. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.